this works. I think it does. That's good. All good. All good. So before we continue, I'm just checking out one thing. And the thing that I want to do is I want to implement that the runes also deal damage, like a passive damage if they have a passive damage type. On, I'd say, ranged weapons. We don't have them yet. I mean, I didn't test it appropriately yet. So for the weekend I did some things, like a lot of quality of life of improvements, I'd say, regarding when buying stuff from the cartridge seller and so on. Now let me test it out. What I'm going for is this item, Picobo. Small, fast attack rate. Yo! See, this is the new one. Be right back. I have a call. What a great beginning. Not even 5 minutes into the stream and I get a call. How awesome is that? Anyway. Can we hear each other? Okay. I think this one is going to work well. What I just want to add, I want to test all the passives that come from the rune. Because I'm adding like 4 different slots. Slowly and steadily. The bigger value, see? From this to that, bigger and biggest. And what I want to see is, because the base damage of this item is very low, it becomes powerful if you socket more runes into it. Especially the type of runes. So I want to see it. What happens if I add an item? I think it's called... Shrapnel shot. Misspelling stuff again. But if I put it in, pierce damage 3. So in total, this item should deal much higher damage now. From 2 to 4, it should have 3 added on top of it. So I'd be expecting value of 5 or something like that. 5, exactly. Okay, I think it's taking it into account because before that... Okay, no. 2 to 4, that's okay, but what... And 3 here. What if I add more of them in? Let's try to fit a couple more of them in. And see how powerful it becomes. Smaller. Chance because the slot doesn't fit, but... Here we go. That's a significantly higher damage, I'd say. So it's 9, and if we do the math 2 to 4, let's say 2 and 3 and 2, 2, 2. The math doesn't add up. Because this is 6 and 3 is 9, but what about that part there? Something's wrong. Math not be mathin' today. But the fire rate of this thing is insane. Picobo. Here we go. If I unequip it, something has to happen. Okay, much smaller energy is taken into the count. Alrighty then, I'm gonna start it with checking out the rune itself. So what does it do? Shrapnel shot rune, we have like deal damage item effect. This one is passive pierce damage, and what does it do? 2. That's actually okay. And it has to be something regarding the visibility. Because if it deals 2 passive, why does it say 3 there? Then, 4 times 2, that's 8. 10 to 11. On parent weapon dealing damage. One second. That's 200. Thanks, buddy. How was your weekend? Trigger went 200. Arrow spin rune and berserker blast rune, but these can't be socketed into that. What about bleeding slash rune? Let's retest it out. Oh wow. What were you playing, man? Player add. Oh ho 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 ho. Okay, bleeding slash rune. Shrapnel shot rune. Okay, 5 to 7 and 3 on top, so the minimum damage we should see is 8 if this one works. Yo Logan, 8, good. This one worked well. Okay, I think those are only the messages regarding the yeah. Yo Logan, not sure if you saw it, but check it out. Pikubo. Small ball, lots of power. So that's 3. Why does it say 3? There's some kind of a bonus coming from it, but I think we have a wrong calculation here. Anyway, if I slap in... bleeding slash can't go inside the ball, and that makes sense. Anyway, what I was working on the weekend is also like displaying the percentages, you know, like if for example we add Voltor Sword, you guys told me that it doesn't deal electric damage, exactly, because it only should have like 20% chance of dealing it. And now you see in the description, I think it's fairly understandable. There's like a slash damage 69, electric damage 69, and chance 20. But I'm gonna replace the 69 from 1 to 9 because that's like a classic with electricity, you know. High ranges. But now you see below it, it's written chance 20%. And I think this is fairly understandable, huh? Ah, 23 says, Phasmophobia, Dead by Daylight, Hunt Showdown, Lands of Fury, Atomcraft, Outcast Tales. Cool titles. Dead by Daylight, that's the zombie game, right? Didn't play it, man. Like, never ever. But I heard about it. Lots of cool stuff. And it's interesting. Also, I modified the HP of every single ore, because yeah, it was pain in the ass. Draining your energy on that shit. Pardon my French. Now if this one has 69, if we slap in the bleeding slash, 4 should be added. So below 10 I don't expect a damage to be dealt. Sweet! There we go. Pork chop. Ah, and I made a yellow color of the electricity. So fire is orange, electricity is yellow. And I'm sorry about the colorblind people, you know. That's just how it is. Because if you add too many icons, it's just pain in the ass. Everything becomes very noisy. So we gotta keep that in mind, you know. Okay, now, let me write this down. What is the core downside of this? Because currently, see, a compact rapid fire bow built for relentless pressure. But here I have pierce damage 3. If I unequip it and I look at it, pierce damage 2. I shouldn't have like a freaking bonus inside the bow. Or is it taking it? Something's off. Now bleed damage is 4, this is okay. Bleed damage is 3. Because I have affinity towards the bow. I get additional bleed damage, but I don't know, should the passive scale? Because this one also has like a bonus damage coming from a bow. At least I think so. If I'm gonna socket it into a sword, I don't think I have a limitation of... No, it also has 3. Mother effer. Mother effer. And I don't want to limit this one only on like bow weapon, because it's cool if you're swinging a sword and then you can occasionally just simply shoot out a fireball or something like that, you know. Let's see, what do they have here? And then we're gonna dive back. Hello, little one. Phew. Now we have to find one more pressure plate. Is this the one? Or 2 more? Otherwise, the thing I changed also... Oh, I have a big backlog that I have to commit and submit. Anyway, the feedback was from one other player. I added this, Anton, companion trainer, because he had no clue what these do, you know. Now it's more obvious. And then the second more obvious thing is that if you buy a thing, you're gonna get a notification. Example. Lilith's Vitality Bond unlocked. There we go. Unlocked or learned. Maybe I should say learned or something. See? And now I get it from Izzy. Same thing, cartridge seller. Because people like kind of complain that you buy stuff and then they suddenly disappear, and if they disappear they don't know what happened, why did it go away. Now we basically say this happened, that happened, much better experience. So I'm really grateful for that dude that tested it out, having fresh eyes. And I received on a mail, business mail, that somebody wants to playtest my game. I think it's a normal dude. And yeah, I basically only approved like 5 testers and I don't have contact with them through this team. So that's also a thing. I'm gonna send him a key after I update this. So he's gonna start probably testing the latest version. And yeah, having more fresh eyes on the situation will come in handy, definitely. Well, what do you guys think? Exactly. Exactly. It's amazing how tunnel vision you get, you know, as a developer when you're working on a thing for quite some time. So yeah. Okay, now those things are dealing damage, additional damage. I just think that we have an issue with, like, passive calculations. Second. While we're at Voltor's Sword, we're gonna change the electric damage 5 to 8. This one also 5 to 8, huh? Wasn't it something smaller? 1 second. And how was your weekend, Logan? Player, add item. $69. Oh crap. It's coming. I think, yeah, I was messing with the base stats, I believe, a little bit, and that's why it's taking in account that I have like a melee power, spell power, and so on set to 1. Or I don't. What the hell? Maybe I do, because I have cartridges equipped now. This is getting trickier, you know, like when you have so many accesses from where you're pulling power and so on, that you kind of lose the track. You know, if I'd like to display that, that would be like, oh my god. You get it from the base stat, you get it from the cartridge, you get it from the item and so on. It's wow. At least I think I have something like that equipped. Or let me see it. Cartridge, yeah, it already gives you melee power of 1 at level 0. That's why we have everything increased for 1. And this kind of makes sense, because now if we take a look at the Voltor's Sword, you know what, I'm gonna modify its thingy anyway. 1 second. Voltor's Sword. There we go. Boom, deal damage, slash damage, electric damage from 1 to 8. That's how we roll with the electricity. So Logan says, pretty alright, tried to join a new D&D campaign and immediately left due to the cringe. Spent some time with mother-in-law. That's cool. What kind of a freaking cringe did you have to experience that you left? What did they do? Did they have like a invigoration cookie like Limp Bizkit, you know, and so on? Sorry. Pardon my dirty mind. I think Simon is somewhere near, lurking, probably. I was on a drink with him during the weekend. Yeah. We were talking carrots and sticks and so on. Maybe he has a meeting or something. Okay. While you're writing and you're defending your position that it wasn't like that, I'm gonna keep on working. Exactly. I hold. Mr. Simon the Bunny. Player add item. Players wanting to be tech dragons, little anime girls getting involved in child. What the fuck, man? Was that in real life or internet, you know? Because in real life I'd be like, dude. That's some serious cringe. then we add shrapnel, shot rune 1, 1 to 3, 2. So now 1 to 3 and 2 on top of it. Ah, now it is 2. It's not increased. So the melee, I mean the spell, fuck, sorry my French. The ranged power is getting added on top of this deal damage, even though it's meant to be a passive. Now I'm not sure if we're gonna leave this or not, because that's like double scaling, you know, you get the base weapon damage increased, the power of it increased, and also like passive. I don't know, I think I kinda like it, and I'm not sure. You know, I get the source now. It's 2, it's okay, but if I add additional... Hear me out, guys. If I add sharpshooter, I have range power increased, which means that also the range power of this item, this rune passive, will increase. Is this okay? I think it's okay, or what do you guys think? I'm gonna read that. Just a second. Also, there's a very funny trope with D&D players where they love to tell stories about their other games, but I'm not really a fan of that. That's so immersion breaking shit. I mean, not good. Not good. Don't do that. Roleplay, you're in this one universe, not in a... I don't know. At least I'd take approach like that. You know, it's like your annoying neighbor, and then we went there, and when we doing so that, and you know, like constantly gossiping. That's annoying, I'd say. Well, this is good, but I'm I'm shooting like I'm drunk and pissing. Because I have no energy. But eat this. Hello. Then Mr. Simon says, I see I joined at the best moment. Bring out the popcorn. Chat is getting interesting. Exactly. It feels like trying to explain a dream to someone is just never gonna work without your perspective. It was online. I haven't played an in-person game in forever. So Simon says the people are sick. Yeah. Everybody's a bit of sick, you know. See, it's an omen. First kill and you got a carrot. Yeah. Mr. Trolley Pants. I think this weapon is turning out to be cool. I'm gonna leave that the power scales also the passive of the runes for now, because I think you should be rewarded. And now what happens if we socket like 4 of them? Maybe the problem is that we have like the same keys on the runes. I'll see. They're gonna be debuffed a bit because, you know, they're not in the right slot. This is okay. Love it. And now let's find a victim where we're gonna empty everything. Maybe this one. Stone. 9. So that's 2, 2. Wait a minute. 2, 2, that's 4, 2, 6, and 2, 8. The math doesn't math. Because by the calculation we should only do like 10 minimum. Okay, 6. If it's a killing blow, it's not gonna overkill it. This is 10, 9. There's one number going off, I'd say. But I wonder why. Because this is 6, and that's 9, and then 11 more. I wonder why. What's going on here? Okay. Okay. Yo! Here we have it. Rat hat. Yup. 4 rooms, and that's enough. You don't need any more. I'm a rat, so... Rodents are awesome. They're cool. I love that their hands are very similar to humans, you know. Wow, that was a big shot. Snap. He's selling the health potions. Maybe I still have the old demo. That's okay. So, what do you guys think? I think this one, Peekaboo, has approval. It looks cool. If you socket more things into it, what if I try, for example, player add item, like frozen orb, rune 1. This one should deal nice amount of damage as well. Ice damage 6. Why 6? It should be 5. Where do you get your power from? Huh. We'll check it out. Now this should be much more powerful. With powerful runes. It is dealing 13, but still the scale is off. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? No! Here we go. Ooh, Starfall. Magic damage 5. Yep. I guess humans have a common ancestor, like something more to rats. I wonder how the tree evolved. Monkey. Mammals, mammals. Explosive damage, magic damage. Why is magic damage here? Aha, that's a passive one. What about this one? 860. Gooselinger. Let's try to fill this one out. Because this one bounces like different projectiles. Let's try to fill the boy up. I think its base damage is like 5. 4 to 7 magic damage. Come on, Gooselinger. Ratatouille, yeah. Wow, this OP. Bouncy, bouncy, bounce. Look at that. Me gusta. I mean, it would be cool if arena was closed, because then this could, like, bounce from the walls. We gotta make closed arenas. You know, with walls and so on. We're gonna do that. We gotta do it. Because the weapons like this will then shine to their full potential. Or maybe at certain wave, you know, there would be like a wall that triggers all around it. Something happens. Yo! Gooslinger. Ah! But I can't shoot the rune. And I'm not sure why. Something happened. Control system, this is regarding the cheating. But the last one, busy weapon pool controller, that's with weapon itself. The aim is epic. Just like it has to be, you know. Epico. "23. Is the boss coming? He's coming. Ah, some defenses against that, huh? Disc. Magic damage 9. Ah, also it gets it from the passive of that. OP. Yeah, based that it has defenses high against this type of damage. But the fire rate of this thing is amazing. Yo! I have to introduce an item that actually doesn't mess with your aim. For example, or a cartridge. Yo, this is a cool cartridge idea. An item, I mean the cartridge that has a passive that you have a straight aim, you know. That you can walk and shoot. It will occupy one of your slots. That means that you can run and shoot at the same time without worrying for an aim. Stalinove Orglica, exactly. Stalin's accordion. I wonder if I add like a ice breath, is it going to slow them down correctly? Let's add a couple of zombies, like, I don't know, 10, 280. Yo! They disappeared. Okay, because I'm in arena. They were teleported somewhere out, huh? Or... Yep. Now if I slap this one in, I should be dealing like... I should have a 25% chance of slowing them down for 25% on hit. I don't see any slow icons. Not sure if this is applied. Exactly. To the spaceship. There we go. One more time. That was way more than 25% chance limit. It's not being applied. I gotta take a look at it. So that's a frozen orb. Frozen orb rune, and here we have like unit stat modifier percent minus 25. -5 coefficient. No, that's coming for who? That's a real one. 1 second. No, that's a frozen orb. I'm looking for an ice bread. This one. Unit stat modifier -25. That's okay. Item listening condition is on parent weapon dealing damage. Breath of ice, slow enemy. Do I have 2 of them? Wait a minute. Status effect, breath of ice, slow enemy. That's the wrong thing. I have to have a different key. Slow enemy passive. I think this should fix it now. At least I hope. Let me just check it out quickly. Because then this is cool. You have a bow. You shoot. You slow them down. Let's see. Player item. Peekaboo. Frozen, no. Ice bread. Like this. Let's socket the little one in. And let's test it out. It would be cool if that was the flashed out versions of later cartridges. Say you have physical 1, 2, 3, 4, physical 1 increased damage and has like 5 upgrade slots. Physical 2 upgrades energy cost and has a few. 3 deals extra knockback, 4 increases attack. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, that sounds good. And the same could be said for range 1-4 and all the other. Yeah. We can add it. I'm happy to admit it. The system is in place for that. What's your suggestion? We just have to really work on them. Yo. Poison Spitter and the Corn Eater. But we have to have like a higher cartridges as well, you know. One of the main pain points we have is like we only have tier 1 cartridges and nothing for the higher tiers. So before I submit this patch, I want to make leveling curves. I want to adjust them a bit. You know, so... This isn't being applied, huh, isn't it? Freaking hell. I don't see any slowdowns. So what do we have here? Equipped on parent weapon dealing damage, that's okay. But why not trigger? Do I have a weird chance? The chance is 25. Pure random, 25. This should be triggering. Radius 96, range 20 doesn't make any sense here in this context, so I don't need it. Unique, per key, slow, passive. Oh, I have it. But here I have... Which one? Breath of Ice, slow enemy, that's okay. And... Exact level. Unique per key, that's okay. On this one, what about on this one? Exact level and unique per key, that's also okay. Huh. Item based, that's... The config here should be working, but it's not. What are you doing to me? On parent weapon dealing damage. One second. On parent weapon. You know what? 1 second. Because hit through rune, the passive is kind of working. I just want to see what's going on there. On parent weapon dealing damage, 1. Item effect target type owner. This triggers usually. And the chance of this triggering is 1. That's the main difference, but Ice Breath Rune. Ignore dead units, that's okay. Status effect duration is 2. Status effect apply tick limit is 1. We apply it once and we remove it after 1 second, so that. But what if I change it from pure random? I don't know. Let's slap 1 here. Just want to see what's going on, and if something changes if I put it into the melee weapon instead of shooting it from the ranged weapon, that could be a problem. Yeah, Logan, agree on that. Frozen, no, Ice Breath Rune. Okay, slapping it into the melee weapon. Let's see. This doesn't make any difference. Traps can't be slowed down. Ah, this one gets it. Check it out. I actually slow him down. If it's in the melee weapon, all good, but... Big but. Now we slap it into the ranged one. I didn't want to kill you. Oh, no. Not a single freaking thing applied. Huh. Then the pain point has to be on parent weapon dealing damage. This gets called inside the weapon. Deal damage, that's okay. It's iterating over every single rune. Okay, I'm gonna try to run it probably through Visual Studio Code. What about here? I have deal damage 1, deal damage 2. And then the item effect info, that's just for displaying the stat that we're using. I mean that the weapon has, the rune has. And... deal damage item effect resource. I mean, if I take a look at it, on parent weapon dealing damage, I have it. And this is being called inside the item effect, right? Here. Ah, I skipped that thing completely. Yeah. So if effect is not deal damage item effect resource. I don't trigger this, but why would it trigger inside the parent and not here? Inside the melee one. Let's check out the shooter weapon. owner dealing hit. Is being called here. Huh. So damage collided with body. I only call an owner being hit by default. And the shooter weapon is calling this here. And the trigger when comes from an owner dealing hit. Okay. Okay. Because the weapon deal damage comes from a melee, and this one has a bit of a different one. Attack system. An area entered damage area 2D. Yep, that comes from that collider. So this isn't calling this thingy here. I gotta take a leak. Be right back. There we go. Oh, looky, looky how many changes we have. It would be smart if somebody would commit something, huh? Probably. Maybe. Huh. If effect is not deal damage, item effect, resource. This is crap. I think this is the problem. Or... Wait a minute, let's think it through. Yeah, so this is a fact and it... Exactly. It's gonna be an essay. I take the rune item current level item effects and I look if the item effect is on parent weapon dealing damage, that's okay. Then I scale by slot fit. Yeah, should I scale it? That's where that big number comes in. We decided that we do it. So this is for the bonus calculating, but now the weapon triggers this on melee. Yeah. For the range we have to trigger now something like that as well. Wait a minute. So damage node collided with body. This happens when I call this one on weapon on exploded and here as well. Okay. And then I handle damage node collided with unit and health component. I have to split them in two. That's okay. Equipped in inventory. On parent weapon dealing damage. Now this would be hit. And if I go in it, here I've added additional one that triggers all the effects on the children. So if host item and rune slots is above 0, then I trigger on parent item used. Could be using that as well. I'll try it. I'll try something, because this is something I was working on in the morning. Now if I have Ice Breath Rune and if I wanted to slow down the enemies, I could use on parent item used. A theory. That's just a theory. Failed to build a project. How cool is that? Rune context what? Deal damage, item effect at line, 110. What did I do here? This wasn't saved back. Get it? A game theory. Exactly. Nope. Nope. And now I even messed this one up, of course. Yo. Buck Hunter. Let's go through the shooter weapon one more time. I have damage node collided with body. I called in damage node collided with body. With these parameters. That's okay. That's in the base, which is the weapon class. I have this here when then I call handle damage not collided with unit or damage not collided with health component. Why I have it like that, don't ask. Before it was unit, then I added health components for other things. That was unit independent. Then here I'm triggering. Trigger item effect activation based on criteria, equipped and inventory. But with what parameter I call you with trigger when? Okay. Trigger when on owner dealing hit this first one. And this one is coming from shooter weapon, and I'm passing in which parameter? A normal one on hit. Everything is on the owner dealing hit. Okay, I'm going in here. Looking for all the equipped stuff. Trigger one. Why do I pass in trigger when here? Why do I have it so flexible? If I should be calling this on owner dealing effect, do I override this shit sometimes? Let's see, weapon first, trigger when on owner dealing hit, on owner dealing hit. Now tell me, damage node collided with body. Similar but different. One has more optional parameters. Why did I do that? Ah, I was passing in overridden effects, but why the fuck do I have that there? Sometimes I'm too smart for my own good. And this is coming back and bite me. Holy Jesus Christ, here we go. And then damage not collided with body. Comes from the shooter one. And trigger when it's passed. Come on, let me check it out. I override it and I call the base one, and then here I'm calling that unexploded. Aha, trigger when unexploded. On projectile explode, I pass this one in here. And then the second one is being passed for on owner dealing hit. And the weapon itself. On damage body entered hit sensor, on projectile hit. So many events. Well, I'm not sure if you guys hear it, but we have like plumbers. You probably hear that, huh? Damn, it's loud. I can't even go normally, you know, on a big thing. No water. Just me and paper. And I'm not the biggest fan of paper. Yeah. We had some rain also for the weekend. There was quite a bit of drought this spring, I'd say, at the place where I live. So it was very welcomed. Okay, let's call this Spaghetti Fest. Where do we go? We go there, we go there, we go there, we go there, and I'm gonna slap in something. Gonna slap in something. Yeah, the weather will be caca. Definitely. Now what I'm thinking about. Unparent weapon dealing damage. That's like very specific when the damage is being applied. Maybe I would have to be I would have to have something like unparent weapon hitting or something, you know. It's before damage is being applied. Huh. Unparent weapon dealing hit. This means that it's not damaging it anything. The damage isn't confirmed and so on, but it's detecting something, it's doing something. This gives us much more flexibility. Because I'm gonna plug this one then into the... Which one? Deal damage. Huh. Yeah, I'm just not calling the right event, you know? I mean, this is not being triggered with... what is it called? With a freaking... You know what? Ranged weapon. Ranged weapon isn't calling this. I mean, I should be hitting like on parent weapon dealing damage. What the F? Yeah, but it will give you an idea what event is triggered and make it easier to pinpoint. Get you. Let me just think about it a little bit more. Because currently I'm only hearing... They're replacing a bathroom, you know? Like a toilet and a shower cabin. 1 second. Passive bonus for dealing damage only. I return if I don't deal damage here. It's not a damage related source. But what was the problem? The problem was that the frozen rune, frozen one, ice breath, rune, which I currently have opened, had a passive that slowed down the enemies. And this was triggered here at deal damage. And deal damage is being triggered in the melee one. So I don't care about this one. This one is only calculating stuff. It doesn't invoke anything. But deal damage itself is not being called by who? It's not being called by a freaking ranged weapon. And ranged weapon is a shooter weapon, which calls damage not collided with body. This is like a bullet collided with body. Okay. And I slap it all the way down this sausage. When I trigger handle damage not collided with unit or a component. Wait a minute. Which targets am I putting in here? So this is a health system. It gets unit. 1 second. Unit to damage becomes now this one. And here. If I go a bit more in, I parse all the things out, overridden effects and everything. Why do I have overridden effects? I can't recall anymore. Okay, if I go a bit further down, then I'm triggering Activation based on criteria. That's okay. Why do I pass in here? Hit source. Okay. Resolve trigger when hit source is resolve hit source type. What do I do with you? What do you return? Hit source type is what? Let me just slap this one in here because this is where I'm gonna call it. But I think I'm gonna rename it a bit differently. And if I check it out, hit source type is melee ranged magic status effect. I get it. Clever boy. But result trigger when happened from what? I get based on this back on owner dealing melee hit and owner taking melee hit and so on. Okay. This is how I call those back. I'm gonna go up one level here. I'm gonna use the same trigger when, but what I'm gonna do is new list target unit, and the data that I'm gonna pass in is going to be null. I don't use any data in this scope anyway. Just want to see what's gonna happen. Here we go. You mean the bathroom? Why is it busted? Basically, there was a leakage, and the wall it's down at the parents' place, you know, lower side of the building, and the wall started leaking in the pipes themselves, and there was like mold growing, so they had to figure out from where the leakage was coming. And surprise, surprise, it wasn't only on the one place, so they have to replace those things. Then, oh, Logan says that he didn't know that I was in Mongolian throat singing. This. No, it's an old one. The parents' place. That's the thing. 20-something years old, if not more. Player add item. But you know, when you hear the drill, it's coming directly up the wall, so you can't do anything about it. Add item. This one. Now it should still work like for 25%. Let's see. Yep, they get slowed. Now, let's see if that theory worked, that if I shoot them with a bow, they should be slowed as well. Yep. It happens. It happens. Fuck the debugger, Simon, you know? Yeah, no. Thank goodness R isn't leaking. Yet. So this one is cool. Caveman, exactly. Peekaboo. Unga bunga. Problem is when you can't gather your train of thought because something is constantly interrupting you, you know, It takes like 3 times longer. Especially the noises. It's not like a noise that, you know, is background music or something that keeps you in the flow, but it's like a constant So that kind of sucks. Hard to focus on that. And yeah, as good as headphones I have, they aren't that good. You know, that they would completely isolate. Hey, looky, our old friend, Void Mask. Ah, here's the bug. That bug as well has to be fixed. Uh-huh. Exactly. But man, I like this bow. Love it. Well. What if I add another that's white? What will you do then, Mr. Simon, huh? And a bit pointier head? Am we gonna call it a wizard head? Huh? What are you gonna do then? A pointy white one. Great wizard head. Oh, come on. Take it. And a quote from the 8 Mile parody movie. You know, when the fake Eminem was rapping and he put on a hoodie. And it was like pure Ku Klux Klan thing. And he said, "Remember me?" And the whole crowd started beating the crap out of him or something like that. Yo, that was insane. Back then, comedies hit a bit differently. Okay, now this one is plugged in here. It's not that bad, but the naming is bothering me a bit, because that's not on parent weapon dealing damage. I should be calling it on parent weapon dealing hit. Something like that. Let me check it out. Because hit is completely different than dealing damage. Exactly. That era was freaking amazing. And Scary Movie and stuff like that. Yo. I mean, that's on what I grew up. Ah, Scary Movie. Get to Vos! Hello! Oi, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. We're just discussing about that a long time ago the parody movies were just brutal. They didn't care about anybody being offended. I mean, yeah. That was hitting a bit differently. Let me just check this one out. Parent weapon dealing damage. Also, I'm working on passives, like when you equip a rune in a weapon, that it gives you like additional damage. And I had a bug, that some of the effects didn't get triggered correctly. Ah, that's true, Logan. On parent weapon dealing hit. Let's call it like that. Let's put it on 205. This is going to be a bit better, but we're gonna have to wire it a bit more. Yeah, like I mean, they didn't care so much. You had to grow a thicker skin, right? Okay, now in deal damage I only take this thing out, and this is... Okay, that's a cool one. But on parent weapon, dealing hit has to be called here. I think that this could be extracted to a method. It should be. How should I name you? Private void. And we're gonna move it to the parent one. Most definitely. No, where are you? This one. Handle damage not collided with unit. Let's go to item. No, it should be here. Rune slots, and then I on parent weapon dealing hit. I call that as well. Okay. Before we migrate it down, slap it down, I'm gonna start writing it here. Private void. Handle on handle rune triggers. Trigger. We'll see what we're gonna have to pass in. We're gonna pass in targets. Target units. That's okay. First one. And we could pass in the event itself. So it's like a trigger when. And now instead of this, and active when as well, we just take this one into account. 1 second. That. So we're gonna slap in equipped by default. And then trigger one as well. That's okay. Handle rune trigger. That's okay. And we pass events. Something's going on. Somebody. Something. Get to voice, just follow. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy. What kind of shaders are you working on, by the way? I forgot to completely ask you. I'm a bit in a hurry regarding the deadline for the early access, so trying to zone in a bit more heavily as much as I can. Why do I have to create so many lists? Do I modify them? I always create a new one. I think I do. But is that the reference? I'm not sure. And trigger when should be no active when is equipped. And trigger when is on parent weapon. Parent weapon. Dealing hit. Okay. Whew. Yo. A skin that could withstand a whip. Yo. At least one thing I like you do is extracting common stuff into methods and making it cleaner. Yo, thanks. I'm working on a rendering technique for volumetric data, so better voxel rendering than what we currently have. Show it. Paste in the stuff you got. Everything is crap. Why did I read about this somewhere? Evolution Roguelite. Oh, looks really cool. Yo. I even used the voice from that dude from the National Geographic, right? Instant success, guys. Only 3 days out. 1,617. Yo, 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 yo. That looks bomb. From which studio? Old Dreams Digital. Something new. That's cool. Aha! It was the most tried demo during the... Thanks, dude. Link them. Procedurally... I mean, it looks cool. The pixels get modified and everything in terms of it has like... What was that game called? Old SNES game? Evo, right? Where you played in the beginning like a fish or something. And then you slowly grew limbs. It came from swimming game all the way to like platforming. It was super hard, if I recall it correctly. I know that I couldn't get past the shark boss. It was like one of the first enemies. I was like, nope, thank you. Hitboxes felt like, oh no. But the idea was cool, and one of the other ideas that was cool was Spore. Right, in the beginning. Handle rune trigger. Damage not collided with unit. And then here I slap in together this when I iterate over it. we're gonna move this one to the top level. So we go to item now. And handle combo finishers, callbacks, trigger rune item effect activation based on criteria. What was I doing here? This is very similar to the thing that I already have here, huh? Get item runes. Are you kidding me? But I don't use this anywhere. I had a good intent. Look, I have a helper function and all. No, that's gonna be double looping. It's good as it is. In the weapon, we make it protected. And I'm gonna nuke this one away. Okay, just a second. I'm gonna take a look at the shader toy. I played Spore 1 a little bit back in the college days. Okay. Huh. That's cool, buddy. Really cool. So this is the game, QRN Dead Air. One bit, black or white. And you try to make the grays with dithering effect, we'd say. Uh-huh. Cool, buddy. Awesome. And what's gonna be the objective of the game? I see you don't have the Linux build, so sorry about it. Can't really test it out. Okay, now we have handle rune trigger. It's triggered here now in the weapon. On parent weapon dealing hit. That's a good one. But I'm gonna call it in the melee weapon as well. So in the attack system, when dealing damage something, trigger what? Where do I have you? Hitbox. On area that enter damage 2D. Okay. This is when I start to deal damage. 1 second, and then I'm going to deal damage. Which one is okay? This one iterates over the runes. So that's for executing combo. That's a different cookie. But this one, if I take a handle rune trigger look, I think we can now slap that one in. And we pass in what exactly active when equipped. This one, and of course first comes the target. Where's the target unit to damage this one? But I think I'm gonna change the order a bit. Data. I'm passing in data as well. What was usually data? It's an object. Yep. Have to have an optional object, and I'm gonna change it to use the same signature as that thing on the top has. Like this. And rearranging it to active when, trigger when, target units. Okay. Some refactor. We have a place for data here. I don't pass anything in here, that's okay. Okay. Another place where I use this now is in the weapon. Here. Do I have data? No. That's okay. Now instead of that, here in data. And now, by all means, we can get rid of this. Because this is technically the same that we have in the item class. Trigger rune. No rune something. Okay, rune item, selected the same one. Looking it up by that. Is instance valid, and then this check as well. Okay. That's good. Deal damage. Health component. We don't care about that one yet. Okay, chat time. And yeah, it's a game. It's unfinished and I need to fix the Linux Windows issues I have with it. Looks perfect for a horror or something similar, yeah? It does. It's supposed to be a horror game. I'm currently working on the shader and the system stuff so I can build it cross-platform and have it available for both Linux and Windows. I'm actually developing on Linux, but my development build just uses Love2D, so I don't have a packageable build of it. But at least I haven't bothered to package it for Linux. Don't have any testers running Linux yet. I think everyone in chat right now uses Linux. Yeah, 2 of us at least. That's pretty cool, man. When you're gonna have it, I have a Linux, so you just send it here, we're gonna play it. Handle run trigger. Rune trigger, not run trigger. That's okay. Just wanna see, do I do some similar stuff with this somewhere else? Okay, this is more advanced thing. Find the runes from instance in the inventory. And here I'm dealing the damage, only the damage. That's okay. That's for adding and removing the runes. Combo probably. Wait a minute. This looks awfully familiar. Rune slots, slot, this is the same. Rune item, the lookup is the same shit. That is the same. Only forward triggers that runes are allowed to react to. On parent item used. Uh-huh. Okay, I'm leaving that one in. Okay, okay. Rune slots in here. Same one. This one. Looks same. Equipped on parent weapon dealing damage. Okay. Passing in units. Oh no, this is for taking the parent, huh? Health component. Many changes incoming, guys. A lot of testing will be needed. But the code is getting a bit slimmer, which is okay. Weapon. Okay. Compute passive bonus range. Do I use this? No. Oh, I had to break like millions of things. We'll see. We'll see, but that's just how it is. Sometimes you have to cut out and refactor stuff. Because I was repeating a lot of things, like in a couple of places where I could be like using the same method for the same job with different parameter. So yeah, we'll see. Good sign it crashed. At least editor. Well, we're gonna go test it out. But definitely, before we continue testing, why the hell? Simon recommended earlier that we actually place a dummy inside the scene so I don't have to travel anywhere, and that's cool. That's good enough. We're gonna spawn a spawn slime, beat the crap out of it, take a look how it behaves. Let's see. So we go to test level. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze so bad, I can feel it. Or... I gave you a heads up, sorry about that. Spawn slime 2. Logan says couple of 100 things, definitely. Simon says, yeah, Windows is becoming a disaster. 4 updates ago they gave it access to BIOS and now it randomly wipes my main BIOS. Luckily my mobile has 2 and I can recover from backup 1. Thank you. Well, anyway. Still dealing damage. That's still okay. Let's add Berserk Blast Rune. 2. Additional because it's a bonus here. Okay. One is dealing slash damage, other is dealing piercing damage, like... I mean slash and explosive damage, so that's why we see 2 numbers. That's... Okay, so this is working. Ice Breath Rune. Slow. Slow is there. The effect is being applied. You can still damage them with this, so this is still triggering. What if I add it now to the ranged weapon? Slow. 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 Yeah, I think I have to change that one because we changed it. Where's the... Ice breath, right? Here we have it. Unit stat modifier. Percent multiplied minus 25%. It has to be somewhere here, but the condition for this to trigger should be not on parent weapon dealing damage, but on parent weapon dealing hit. Testing it out again. Yup. There we go. Beautiful. I remove it. Does it still get removed? It should be. No. Yeah. If I slap something else, let's try it in the test run and see how many bug errors we get. I think it's only related to the console, that I was using cheats. That's okay, not a problem. Don't care about that one. But what I wanted to achieve with this is also that, for example, hit rune this increases like your speed when you're attacking and dealing hit. And I'm not sure if this is... when is it being triggered? 1 second. Hit rune has an item effect, the unit stat modifier, and the listening condition is on parent weapon dealing damage. No. I'm gonna do it on parent weapon dealing hit. This means that it should also trigger on the bow. That's the reason why I also went and checked it out. Because if you're landing a hit with an arrow, then you're gonna also get like a bonus attack speed from this rune. And I think this is very powerful sync combination for the ranged weapons as well. Let's check it out. Player add item. Picobo. And another one is Hitro rune. I'm gonna put it in normal one. So it's increasing attack speed for 25%. We'll see how it looks. The animation should be faster. That's one thing. Ah. Look at that. Freaking OP. What if I put it in this one? Now this one should be like brutal. Or maybe it's being bottlenecked by something. Is that 25? It seems a bit higher, huh? Attack speed 25%. Let's go to arena. More testing needed. Okay, that's kind of cool. But I don't get a feeling that this would stack on the Hydra bow. There's something else bottlenecking it. Well, it is a bit faster, isn't it? Yeah, the cooldown is non-existent on this thing. I'm being slowed down by the animation, I'd say. And not by the cooldown of the item. Wait a second. Slap this one out, put it back in here. This one still has visible cooldown in the hotbar. At least a little bit. See? Okay, 1 second. Something's off. I'm way too fast. For way too long. Something glitched, definitely. Oh, good. We'll take a look. Attack speed is 1.95. 1 second. It's like my stat got permanently stuck. Like I wouldn't take off any. Wow. Phew. I'm a mad lad. Attack speed 1. Huh. Be right back, gonna take a leak. Ketu, I'll take a look at it a bit later, because I have so much work to do. Okay? With these bugs and so on, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm trying to release the game on 28th of May and it's just going on so fast that, yeah. I'll focus on it as much possible as I can, but I'm gonna give you a shout out, so... People, very cool project. Like... Super cool project. All 1-bit, black or white. It's gonna be a horror game developed by Dark Sigma Studios. I'm gonna give you a follow as well. Check it out, try it out. And tell the dude what you think in the comments down below. Be right back, I gotta take a leak. Back. Where's 23, guys? He's been awfully quiet today. There we go. Maybe he went to sleep, huh? We'll see, we'll see. Anyway. The grind continues, guys. Now, there's an issue that somehow the effect remained on. And that's a big one. It's a problem that I can spend hours on grinding now, or I'm gonna take a separate day to fix these bugs, because I think that we still have so many things to do. 23 is probably watching somebody else. Exactly, I feel like a cheat. I've been cheated on, you know. I wanna see if he's in triple jump games, you know. If he's lurking there. No, man, the dude's been amazing always. See, he came to pay respects, posted and pinned the thing on, and he flew off. He's double dipping, right? That's okay. Let's see, this one and item. I'm gonna try the passives out. Fireball rune, did I try this one? It should be dealing some damage. At least some normal hit. Yep. This is so freaking wrong on so many levels. Why is it 4 and why is it 5 to 7? What the f... I think I know. Do I? Was I being smart a bit earlier? I think I was. This one. This one. Logan. Cheering me on. We still gotta create that Valor item, you know. Oh, how did I trigger credits? Why'd I do that? 8, 6, 8, this is good. 5, 7, why do you come up with 8? Is there a rounding problem? Also 9. 5 to 7, this should be taking in account that already. Melee power. Ah, this is a preview, okay. Let me unequip everything. No energy, that's good. 5, 6. 5, 6 is okay. Now, if we put up Brawler, 5, 7. $11 was from Anna. She's shooting that critical, that's okay. Now if I slap in Fireball. equip it. That's 4 plus damage, so maximum of 11. Good. 5-7 is still good. And 3 is coming from that. But it says 4 here. Because the preview is wrong. Wrongly calculated. It's not taking it into account, is it? Because this thing shouldn't scale. Passive doesn't scale. Makes sense if I hurl a fireball at it. That's 14 on impact. That's okay. And 4 to 6 burn. That's good. Ah! What a miss. Seems good. If I take something with a similar damage type. Shrapnel shot rune. We should be seeing additional damage number as well, but 2 of them, yeah. So it's taking out 2 now. Why do we have 3 here? Because of this. Because you're dealing 2. Obviously the preview is wrong. Calculation is good. The preview is wrong. Son of a... I like playing so violently when you dash attack them like this. Feels so good. Slappity slap slap. Okay. Then let's try Hitro Rune. Nothing's being applied. Son of a... $125. If I hit multiple times, it even rises above, right? 244. Why is this stackable? Did I make it stackable? I think I did. Refresh duration on reapply. Add new instance. I'm just gonna refresh. Exactly. Shooting them like... Huh. Good. That's Hitro Rune. That was applied. Problem. This thing now is triggering on parent weapon dealing hit. And I don't call this one in the melee one, right? Second. That's coming from a weapon. Deal damage. Equipped on parent weapon dealing hit. Handle damage not clouded. This one is good. What do I do here? This is for rune executing combo. Ah. See? Bug. Now if we try it, we get attack speed if we shoot with the bow. Did I implement the stack limit? I didn't, right? Probably not. That's why I can go to infinity and beyond here if I would be very fast. Did I? Status effect on, add new instance. Max status stacks. Add stack and refresh. What if we keep it kind of on refresh duration only? So you don't get like infinity attack speed boost, because that's like pretty brutal. Huh. Status key mode by status group ID. If I would make it like by instance and by item, then you could have like 2 hit-through runes and both of them would be increasing like 25% of your attack speed. But now it would be limited to only one that you have. So it's not a stackable thing. And I think that's okay. Okay, we had an issue that in melee it didn't work. Now it works. Taka 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 chuha chuha. And we go. Attack speed. Where is it? 125. Works correctly. Tsappa 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 tsappa. Like it. See? You slow now, but you come closer. Chukka chukka chukka. Choo choo train. So it commits you a bit more into it. The thing should still work for the bow. But same thing with the bow, it can't infinitely, like, stack. We could have different runes for those cases. See? Also good. Now if we add the Pico bow. Pico bow 1. Remove, add. Wow. Love the Pico. See, it's dealing very small damage, but range power additional 1. Okay. Originally it's from 1 to 3, so the minimum now we see is 2 at least when we have some energy. And then it drops to 1, right? There we go. That's good. Now, if we stack it with the shrapnel shot rune. Let's load it. That should be like 2 additional ones. It's increasing. We don't see double damage numbers because I'm stacking them like together. But if we would add a fireball, then 2 numbers should pop up. Fireball rune. Oh, this should be more powerful. Nope. Why the hell not? It should add additional 3. Aha! Of course. Because I'm not calling the runes... Huh. One second. Fireball. This is the burning effect, and here's a passive one. Fire damage. Let's see if it changes now. Because if that's the case, I use that one only there. Huh. Not sure if I want to stack it then now. So, rune time, player add item, fireball, rune 1, and the second one. Shrapnel shot. Fireball comes in. Yep, it's dealing 3 additional ones, as expected. Then we're going to modify in the end the on-hit effects. Aha. But if I have on-hit, I don't highlight them anymore. I should be highlighting them. This is how we distinct it like a passive effect and so on. Let's see. Passive? Do I use the word passive anywhere? There we go. Parent weapon. Parent item used, like that. This will fix it. And if we try to stack multiple runes now. Picobo, my favorite. I have to thank Logan for the idea for the fast firing rate little bow. He wrote it down. So it's one shot and 2 numbers come up, which is okay because currently I'm taking account this one in here, but I'm gonna remove it. I'm gonna call a different one. I'm not gonna have like on parent damage. This is how I started stacking it, because there's a lot of numbers now, and I wanted to both pierce damage from the bow itself and rune to be added like one, but I think that just adds to a confusion, and I don't care if we're gonna see a lot of numbers. Maybe that's gonna be like additional happy thing, you know. More numbers you see, it's better. Come on, let's get him up. Now, we're gonna unleash the fury. There we go. I'm not sure, maybe we have to reduce its range a bit more, because it's very fast rate-ish. Maybe additional 16. Spawn projectile. Range 120. +6 + 16, what is that? 112. I'm gonna leave it like that. And then on deal damage, this is where I'm taking in the bonus for that thing. And if I have 2 of them, like, would there be a way to make the accuracy of the bow go down for how fast you're moving? So instead of moving slightly gives you max inaccuracy, it scales down up. There is, actually, taken in account. We can test it out immediately. I'm calculating somewhere the velocity of the player, if I'm not mistaken. Just a second. Shooter weapon. Here's something up here. Move spread coefficient. So it's taken in account the speed. What is max extra speed? What do I have here? 30. See, I multiply it with the speed itself. Because currently if you move, it is a bit inaccurate. What if you walk? It's a bit more accurate, isn't it? See? If you walk. But if you have run enabled, it's like pissing against the wind. So that's taken in account. But it's velocity based. So it's not only on your movement. So ice is taken into account. Like, if you move in the water, you also have very tiny velocity, see? It's almost like being accurate. Well, I'm thinking about that we should mitigate this with one other parameter, like maybe how much slide resistance you have, boots, so on. Something else, we'll see. Definitely, we'll work on it. Okay. This one. This one. Well, Logan, this is one of the main things that you're trading range for less damage, you know. Exactly, I mean, I had a whole system in place that a sword would also limit you to hitting the closest target, and then you would unlock like how many targets you get into the range, but that was too... Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna tell it like this. There has to be a cartridge for that makes a bow play a bit more friendly, you know. So it would be more like a skill tree thing that you can equip it, and this gives you like more stability or something, or small energy region if you hit something with a bow. Definitely. It makes you then more motivated to buy more cartridges, different ones, you know. But I can't give the player everything from the beginning, what he wants. I mean, he has to feel progression a bit, if you know what I mean. Like, by the time you get to Frozen Peaks, you should be able to run and gun or something like that. Makes sense? Let's see now. This deal damage thingy. Get you. More items needed, more cartridges to tweak the other I think I'm gonna comment this one out. Trigger when? $200. I'm changing this to 205 everywhere probably. Or even better, this is going to become 200. Wait a minute. Let's comment it out. It's declared here. Hmm. $4 a.m. The one exception is Elven Bow. If you get that, then it carries you as much as the Spiked Club. You're an eternal being. I think Spiked Club is like too OP. I mean, we need many more better weapons than Spiked Club. It's okay. You have to work for it a bit, but it's like, I don't know. I get you, buddy. Well, the thing that I really want to say is that the weapons will become way more powerful now, especially ranged one, regarding the damage. Because of the passives they're gonna get from the runes, and I think that's gonna be okay. And we're gonna add more of them, so that's another thing. That was 205. And deal damage. So here has to also be deal damage. No, dealing hit. Okay, that means that here becomes 1. And then I'm taking only the item effect info into account. Okay. So I'm gonna remove this one. Like this. And now this is going to be changed to how do I want to get this through? I'm gonna nuke it, and I'm gonna change this one to 200. And I have to look for 205. 25, something like that. Here we go. And these are gonna be changed to 200. 200. And 200, like this. So when the hit gets triggered, this should go, and now all the other runes should feel better. Spike Club is just very easy to get. 2 sticks and spikes is cheap for the quality. Yeah. What are your suggestions? What should we put in? We can spice the things up a bit, you know, like additional thing that you have to have, or maybe we nerf it, you know, so it's not so tempting, or make it breakable or something. But I despise breakable stuff so much, guys. I can't tell you how much I freaking hate breakable stuff. Okay, that's something that we can work with. It's not a problem to modify the loot table, you know. What if I add now? Okay, 2 of them incoming. That's good. And now the fire one, and I should see the 3 numbers. Good. And I missed. Jesus, it feels like I'm tasing somebody. Okay, this is better now. If rope was easier to get in the first level, then bows and maces would be easier to get. I agree with that. I told you that this is really cool, and that if we take a look at the crate, just a second. I gotta see, where does it come from? The crate has like loot drop component, and here we have loot context, scrap medium. Let's see. Default loot. Scrap medium. Crafting rope is uncommon. So the common thing is crafting nails and crafting wooden stick. I could make it more common. That'd be easier. Crafting rope. Change its value to common. And that's basically equalizing the chances, you know. And I'm gonna remove this one. Currently I don't have anything in here, do I? So I can nuke it. Crafting rope. Common. What do you say? Better? Easier to craft it. Now you should be much easier to get a master bow. I mean long bow. That thing, like, with additional runes in it, could do some serious damage, and it gives you like a lot of protection. It was rarer, definitely. But now it's, yeah, same chances. Pure RNG Jesus now. Okay, now that was this. I think that one item, let's add a couple of more items, and then I'm gonna start making builds for testing. I have to go down the list. What do we have to do? See, this one was very inspired by your recommendation, Logan. The fast bow. With this one I have something else in mind. With golden one something. Imagine like shooting 2 arrows that travel and come back like a boomerang, but super fast. Tap tap. We can add more boomerangs, definitely. That's one thing. But double shot, not in a... You know, not like... in the same space, or how should I say? In the same line, like Elven Bow. Like there should be some halfway between bow and longbow. Longbow from the... yeah. Deals very low of every damage type. Extremely fast attack but doesn't pierce. Gotta see if I can find some cooler images for that kind of thing. Because having like 2 of them that are gold, I don't know. Maybe this one could be cool that it work almost like a boomerang, that it would travel, you know, like back. You shoot it and it travels back to you. The arrow would go to there and back, there and back. But maybe not like directly at you, but the position you were at or something. We can play with a lot of ideas here. And the difference between the boomerangs and bows would definitely be the speed. Yeah, exactly. You're right. Quick, medium energy, medium damage, pierces enemies. Current, let's first see what the wooden boomerang has. I think it bounces back, right? It's nothing special. It's a rare item, I mean, uncommon. But, what does it do? Projectile, linear, okay, wooden arrow. No, I don't, but that's wooden bow. Sorry about that. Boomerang. Return to owner. That's okay. What if it returns to the place where it was thrown at? Does this work even? Let me try it out. Aha! If possible, would it be sick to reset the cooldown on boomerang catch? Clever. Clever, I just have to think about it. Where should we stick that in the code? Let's see, wooden boomerang. It bounces. That's broken a bit, I'd say. I'm gonna remove the bounce. Something's weird about it. What did I do here? Feels broken. Huh, bounce. Why do you bounce? I don't have anything regarding bounce. Pierce through target. There's some other stuff here. Return to owner and hit. What if I do? No. Default is okay. Yeah, because I was changing like boomerang return to owner. I changed it. I wanted to see what's going on here. And I have a nasty bug regarding bouncing from the walls. There's like sometimes it just shoots through the wall. The bounce doesn't work correctly. Try to fix it myself, try to LLM it, try to do all sorts of things, but for some reason, on some occasions, projectiles, if I have a bounce, you know, condition, they bounce off, but something's going on there as well. Why the wooden bow? Sound effects are off. Boomerang is broken. Something's wrong with it. I think I have to change the origin. Maybe the spread shouldn't be taken into account with boomerangs, or I don't know. Feels a bit off. Maybe this could be the boomerang speciality. Like boomerangs don't have spread. It always flies the direction where you throw it. That could be a weapon specific thing. I don't know, I'm just brainstorming a bit louder. Speed was okay, the origin feels freaking weird. Shooter position, let's put it like that. Yeah, definitely. Agree on that. The signature feel with that is definitely that the projectile comes back. That's the first thing. Now it comes directly from the body, and I think this is much better. Better feel. What happens? It bounces a couple of times. First thing, I gotta get rid of the explosions. Feels weird, like super weird. Shooter position, boomerang, yeah, that's okay, but what do we do here? I think I have it somewhere in the... here. Boomerang, lightning bolt impact, what the... Let's use arrow impact for now, we're gonna see. Throwing two boomerangs, having a travel in an arc circle, piercing through are all good variations on boomerang that I think could feel wrong. I get what you think, but I get what I think because I know how much time will this take to implement, you know. At least for now. Having it travel in an arc, circle, piercing through. Piercing through is not a problem. Traveling in the same line is not a problem. Following you is not a problem. Circling around you, it's a problem. At least for now. Yeah, circling, that's not something implemented yet. That you would throw it and it would circle around you, that's not a thing that happens. That it comes back to you, it's okay. This feels better. Yeah, but arc can mean a lot of things, you know. It can travel like that. Yeah, that's a different arc. That arc, for example, takes in account that it's not colliding with anything when everything is a bit... Yeah. It is not touching anything on the ground. It feels like it's airborne, you know, that arc. So yeah, first thing first, low hanging fruits. It bounces like a couple of times. Boom, boom, boom. That's okay. This bounce isn't bad. Because then I can have another one that doesn't bounce. But that one would travel freaking through the walls, right? Maybe the main problem is that I have it bouncing like from normal things. What happens if I would, I don't know, spawn things? Zombie. He goes immediately back, right? Yep. It bounces only from the solids, and that's okay. Okay. First thing, probably, I don't know. Maybe other things are behind it as well. But quick reset on throw. How could we do that? The biggest class in the game. You know what? Let's write an essay first. I have to commit a lot of stuff. Story time. I'm gonna mark it as 6, 0.6 or something. Big changes. I have my moments, right? Okay. Remove the... what is this called? Dealing hit or something like that. Did I? I did. Okay. I should really hop off. I'm not the slightest bit tired, but the wife is gonna wake up soon, dude. Thanks for being here, man. By the time you wake up, there's gonna be a new build on. Hopefully something interesting for you, okay? Have a great Z catching. Remove some old unused functions. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, that's a nice refactor from this, and even something here, I believe. Below, under the item effect they represent. Jesus, they're drilling like right below me. Rolls is okay. Yep. Perfect thing for concentration, you know, like alpha waves and so on. I feel my eye Capillare. What's the eye vessels popping slowly, you know? Okay. Added pickleball. Runes passive. That's a big win, that you can have a rune that applies the damage on a ranged attack. For electric damage. Stone colored particles when destroying ores. Ores HP has been significantly decreased. Crafting rope now belongs to the common items. Hitler rune has 25 speed bonus, attack speed bonus limit. That's all good. Added notifications. Added additional names to the shops in the camp. Player now knows if he is buying companion skills or cartridges. If the skill or cartridge get purchased, the notification pops up that thing has been unlocked. Easy camp, good snap. All good, all good, all good. Journal mobile player HUD. Optimized. Controls. That's a big performance gain. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I like it. Bunny Wizard still gains some views, guys. If anybody didn't see yet the Bunny Wizard, there's a short about it. And we posted the video last time. It got like almost 2k views, so appreciate the like on it or a comment. I'm not sure how the algorithm works, but sometimes I get like from 1000 to 2000 views. Everything gets ranged around here. Still didn't have my viral moment with anything. But that's okay. It's a grind, marathon, not a sprint, I guess. Best of luck, Logan. To you too. Have a good night, buddy. It's been committed. Now, let's see if I have a damage node. And... Oh, tell my player. I wonder if I go back to when the player has to be reached. I think I have it in the shooter weapon. Disable something. Come on. That's a projectile. Somewhere here, return to player or something like that, to owner. Do I use this thing? I do. Okay. Set direction to owner, then what happens? Owner node, okay. Be right back. I got a phone call. Okay, back from the dead. So owner node as unit, if it's not, no. Dedupe, blah 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 blah. So many things. Set direction to owner, that's okay. But what do I do here? Where do I touch the owner? Times bounced is less than bounce, okay. Optional, destroy on touch, no. Impact SFX, hit. Okay, I gotta check out when I disable it. I call this as deferred, I believe, a lot of times. Right? I do it on distance limits, reach, on piercing limit, on bounce, on hits, on return to owner. This gets called when? Here. Okay. I emit this thing. But do I listen to it anywhere? I don't. I just emit it. Okay, now... Void reset cooldown. Handle cooldown reset or something like that. We'll see what's gonna happen. Because I think that the owner node, so if owner node something blah 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 as unit, do I have a separate prop for this? Hello. Owner node as unit, where do I set you? Here. Okay. Old Philip tried to be smart. If is instance valid. Owner unit equals to false. Return otherwise. Huh. Do I have the item reference here? Item? Do I hold the reference to the item? Ready, shoot, owner node, blah. Projectile data. This should have a reference to the item. Okay. equals to false. Of course, this one has to be outside. I return, and then I'm gonna slap in projectile data. No, shoot projectile, something like that. Spawn projectile. Huh. And by default, I think we're gonna handle this. In a way that this is always going to be. Let's make it freaking true. Because it's only gonna be checked after that. Projectile, come on, why you no intelligence to me, buddy? Projectile data, reset cooldown, false. Okay, now, how the fuck F can I trigger instant reset? Huh. I know that I have like a cooldown, something, item effect resource, and this is being taken always into account when minimum and maximum stuff are taken into account. Jesus, complicating stuff. Cooldown something. Cooldown timer. I should have like a property. Reset cooldown, boom, and it handles everything. Because I currently have current cooldown item effect resource. Current cooldown item effect resource equals to this resolve cooldown. That's okay. But where do I take you into the count? Laser weapon, item slot, item. Where do I have cooldown tick or something? What's this? Item CS. Cooldown, cooldown. Is this an old sin? Only 3 years old shit in here. Okay. Do I use you? I certainly don't. Then what are you still doing in here? Get out of here. Cooldown timer. On cooldown finished. Hello. When do I set the cooldown timer? Time. Cooldown timer dot wait time. I wanna see. No. Anywhere else? Start cooldown duration. Okay, start cooldown duration. Okay, What if we add a public void? Force cooldown finished. Something like that. What do we do here? These are one-time timers, I believe. Let me just take a look what's going on in the item. Item scene. Cooldown timer. One shot. Okay. So what I'm gonna do if the cooldown is, you know, doing mumbo jumbo. I'm gonna do this cooldown timer. Stop. So I got this thing in here. Item as well. It has to be a valid one. So then I can simply say item, projectile data item. Don't ask why this monstrosity is here, but it is what it is. Force cooldown finished. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna make it to false just in case. I don't want to mess it up too much. And now, on the wooden boomerang, we're gonna be modifying this as well.
Hey, wanna dance? We should, you know, get out there.
Did it build? It built it. Getting a bit further. Let's see, reset something. I think we have to take a look at the freaking spawn projectile. Reset cooldown or return to owner. Now, if you catch a boomerang, you should be able immediately to like get it back. Wait up. I want to test it out with a much bigger cooldown. So it's 1 second. Let's make it 3 seconds or even 5. You know, before you try even shooting another one. That makes sense. Otherwise, if you're spamming like boomerangs like crazy, that's, yeah, it's a possibility for something different, but we'll see. But it should immediately, like, be caught by you. It shouldn't bounce around. That's other thing that's kind of getting on my nerves. Don't need a minimum distance traveled. As soon as you're going back, you should be restarting. You should be catchable. 227. Damage node. Let's see if this gets triggered. Okay. This didn't trigger. Why does it go to... 1 second. Owner is unit. Let me debug this. What kind of condition issue do I have here? That's true. Projectile data is false. What? But it's valid. It exists. Huh. Duplicated projectile effect resource. Hello. Shallow duplication. Okay. I'm gonna backpedal here a bit. What if? Yeah, everything sounds very simple in the beginning, but then it starts to complicate when you see how everything was set up, because that wasn't in mind first place. And then you have to refactor stuff and take it apart, so on. And it kind of starts to suck. But anyway, I'm gonna have to go cook something. And I'll work on it a bit offline. So, people, thank you for giving me your time, for spending some time with me. I hope that you like what you see. It's getting better every day. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Okay? Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye.